Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from SweetStamper.com. And true to form, I'm back to my old ways and I am 5 minutes late today. So welcome, welcome. I am glad that you are here. And I have something fun for you today. It is Teach Me Tuesday. I am here twice weekly on Tuesday. It's Teach Me Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and on Thursday it is Simple and Stepped Up Stamping at 2 o'clock as well. So this is Teach Me Tuesday, and I'm going to be teaching you about making a wintry scene. We're doing a wintry scene, and I think it's kind of, I'm doing about 2 or 3 different kind of teaching things within. I'm trying to get my computer to give me Facebook so I can see comments and things as they arise. We're going to be doing a monochromatic card, and but we're going to layer depth on the monochromatic theme by using 3 shades of the same color. So if you're a blues fan, you're going to really like today's card. Hey Jackie, I'm glad you are here. So we are just still getting all of the devices synced so that when I pull the camera down in just a minute, we will be ready to go. I am in a flurry of activity. I have a team meeting tonight, and that is always super fun. Hey Gail, I'm glad you're here. Team meeting is always a fun day, a fun evening. We are currently meeting only on Zoom. And we used to have a large gathering here in San Antonio and then broadcast on Facebook Live for the people who couldn't gather with us. But ever since COVID, we've been doing a Zoom gathering. And it's still fun. It's just different, you know. It's just a different way of connecting. But we've got some people to celebrate who've done some amazing things with their stamping over the last month. Hey, Susan. We actually ran two challenges last month. We always have challenges that we release in our team meeting. Hey Kay, hey Darlene, I'm glad you're with us. Just to give you a little bit of a background here on some of the fun things we do with my team, we always have a creative challenge going. We run those 3 times a month on the Facebook group, and Crystal Wilson, who is usually here with us in our live, she runs that for me. And so she posts it, and then people share whatever projects they want to share within those parameters. And then we do a drawing, and the drawing is for a prize. Hey Simone, I'm glad you're here with us. So with our team meeting, our monthly team meeting, we always announce the challenges for that month as well. And so for last month, we had a DSP challenge. Hey Kathy, I'm glad you're here. Of course, Stampin' Up! Ran that big designer series paper sale. So we had a challenge where, hi Phyllis, and you're in Orlando. I'm flying to Orlando on the 23rd, and then we will be spending Thanksgiving in Vero Beach, Simone. So I will be in your neck of the woods. We did the challenge for the designer paper. If you sold or purchased 1 set of designer paper or 50, you still got into the drawing, but then there was also a contest to see who sold the most. So I like there to be challenges that hit everybody. Everybody can participate, whether you're running a business or not. And then there's also things for those who are running a business and or have maybe a little bit of that competitive edge. Wink, wink, Darlene. Then they can participate in those other challenges as well. And then we also had a You've Got Mail challenge, and that challenge was again about sending cards. So I think we had a lot of love that was shared, a lot of goodwill that was spread, a lot of happy mail that was sent out. So I'm excited about acknowledging some of those achievements tonight. Okay, so team meeting is tonight, but and I will also tell you that this is my retreat weekend. We're actually meeting in a hotel here and a large crafting space. So I am going to be doing Facebook Live with you guys on Thursday from the Drury Plaza right in the middle of retreat because I don't want to miss. And so I will be coming to you, but from a different space. So Okay, without any further ado, I am going to bring this camera down and let's see where we're going to go with our wintry scene today. Okay, we're hoping for some winter weather here in San Antonio. We had a little bit of a cool front and then it kind of got warm again. So we are getting we're getting a little bit of rain today, which we always need rain. So, okay, let me get the computer. Okay, so let me show you a couple of things that we're going to be using today. I've been using this paper a lot. This was a returning favorite from last year. And so this was something that Stampin' Up! Tried this time, and I think it's been, I've really enjoyed the fact that some of our actual papers, in addition to some of our stamp sets and such, returned from last year. And that has been a fun thing. I think they're in here. Let's see. This is my little cheat sheet. This is my, is it in here? These are all of the papers, but I'm not sure my returning favorites made it back in. Ah, there it is. Yay. Woohoo. Okay, so this is my sampler that shows you all of the papers in this set of designer papers. And so you'll see that they're really tiny squares here. And that is because this 6x6 stack, you get so many different patterns. And I love the fact that you have these photorealistic images on one side, and then, let's see, this one's here, and then you have these silver and whites on the other side. So I've been designing 2 different classes with, I will tell you, I adore this paper. So I'm using the silver side today, and I've just had so much fun with this paper, I don't want to let it go. And just for your kind of FYI, these are the colors that are in the photorealistic side of the papers. And so I've been working on a fancy fold winter card series, or I shouldn't say series, a class for my retreat. So, okay, here is the stamp set that I'm using, and I actually only pulled one. There's actually 2 sets of stamps with this, and this is Rooted in Nature, and I'm going to use these trees right here, and we're going to build a scene. So let's see what we're going to do first is we're going to get a little bit of, this is my, what do you call it, laminated paper. I need some paper that I can throw away because I'm going to be sponging. And sponging is one of my all-time favorite techniques. There is so much you can do with sponging. So we're going to create a wintry scene, and we're going to actually be layering 3 different blues. And this is kind of a way to take a monochromatic theme and add a lot of depth to it, or I should say a monochromatic color scheme. And so I'm going from very deep with Night of Navy, and I'm using Misty Moonlight and Seaside Spray. So these are, you can see on the spectrum, you go from pale to medium to dark. And so that is the way we're going to run. Hey, Avenel, I'm glad you're here. Tell me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, because I do like to call people by their correct name. Avenel, it's a lovely name, but I'm not familiar with it, so I might be butchering it. Okay, so we're going to do our sponging first, and we're going to do our stamping on top of the sponging, and I'll tell you why after we start getting over to the stamping part, which we are going to stamp on Stamparatus so we get a really, really deep application of ink. So I'm going to take this Seaside Spray. This is one of our in colors that was introduced last year, and I can tell you that when this goes away, I am going to miss it. I'm not a big blues person. I tend to gravitate more towards the warm colors. But these blues, both Seaside Spray and Misty Moonlight, I have just absolutely used the heck out of. Seaside Spray, of course, I've had a whole year to work with it. And let me just show you while I'm talking, or maybe kind of, hey Betty, I'm glad you're here. Let me just kind of point out to you while I'm talking that some of the kind of technique that I'm using here for sponging is I'm tapping here and then I don't start here. If I do, I will typically get sponge lines and I don't want that. So I start over here and tap off a little bit and then I use round circular motions, and that allows me to build the color and not get a lot of streaky stuff. So that's about all I'm going to do on the Seaside Spray. Now I'm going to bring in the deeper Misty Moonlight. And these are beautiful counterparts of one another. And I'm going to build my color with a little bit of this darker down here. And then I'm going to decide whether the top of my piece is going to be the darker or the bottom is going to be darker. Now this is allowing me to have more than one shade of blue here, and it's going to bring some real depth of color. You can see how much darker this Misty Moonlight is. No matter how much ink I added here, it was not going to get that dark. And so that's why I wanted to bring in the Misty Moonlight. You also notice that when you're doing this kind of a technique, one of the kind of cool features about this is it gives you that nice edge all the way around. You see how you get that strong edge. Now we are going to do some stamping, and we're going to do it in Night of Navy. So what I'm going to do is I want to stamp my trees on here. We're doing this wintry scene, and I want my trees to be, there's my little mark. I want my trees to be really, really dark navy, and so that is why I am using Stamparatus. Stamparatus is a great stamping positioning tool. Not only does it allow me to position things just where I want them to be, it also allows me to do some fun techniques. And one of those techniques I'm going to use today is going to be layering ink, where you layer like 2 and 3 layers of ink to give a real depth of color. Now I can add my trees in one of 2 ways. I'm actually going to use this double set of trees as well as the single tree, so that I can really make my scene just the way I'm wanting it to. And I can either have the dark towards the bottom, or I can put the dark towards the top and it looks more like a storm. I think I'm actually going to do that, or maybe like night is starting to set in. I think that that's going to be a better fit for what I'm kind of envisioning at the moment. So that magnet is super, super strong, and it allows that to just hold into place for me. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody saying anything. Okay, everybody's just listening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just position my trees about right there. And then I am going to press in. And this, I got rooted in nature. This is a clear mount rather than the cling mount, which is what we have now. Cling mount definitely clings a lot stronger, but I think I'll be okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ink this up, my trees, with Night of Navy. And notice that I'm putting my stamp pad right under here. And that just ensures that when I open my plate, instead of just flopping down, the stamp case itself just provides like the perfect little lift there to make for just a little bit of an easier transition there. So there is, my trees are already looking very nice, but watch what's going to happen when I add another layer of ink. So again, I've got Misty Moonlight, Seaside Spray, Night of Navy. And see, by using my Stamparatus, it goes right back into the exact same position. I mean, look at that. There is a lot of depth of color there, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm actually not going to use the double set of trees. I'm going to use the single tree now to build my scene and have a little bit more design leeway, as it were, by using a single tree now instead of the double. So let me remove that. I'm not going to need that again. And now, hey Nancy, I'm so glad you're here. And Avenel, I'm glad that I pronounced you correctly. That's a good thing. I'm going to angle, see how I can just overlap these now a little bit? I could add one here if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to do 4. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons I decided to do this today, I was already kind of thinking I was going to do something with sponging today. But my husband was asking me for some thank you notes that he needed to write. And I went to my stash, and I tell you, I had a little bit of a challenge trying to find something that would be appropriate for my husband to send. You know, when a man is going to send thank you notes, he doesn't want a bunch of flowers and a bunch of, you know, doilies and, you know, fancy, you know, lacy stuff. They want something that's a little bit more masculine. And so that's really what kind of put me in this direction today. Like I said, I was already planning to do some kind of sponging, but I thought, okay, let's do something a little bit more on the masculine side. Now, I want to do one more tree, and so I'm just cleaning this because that way I don't get it all over my hands when I pick it up. And I'm just going to lift this. I think I'm going to go maybe up a little bit. I think that's going to be about right. Overlap it just slightly. And then I'm looking to see, oh yeah, I have one alcohol prep pad left over here. I obviously need to restock these. I like to have these to clean my fingers with when I'm done with sponging or something else where I've gotten a lot of ink on my fingers. So let's ink this last tree up and give it a nice saturation of Night of Navy ink. And you can see how it's paler when I add that, that second layer of color. I can even add, a third layer and really make it bold and dark and crisp. And I'm wanting a lot of contrast there. And so that is perfect for what I'm wanting to do. Okay, so let me put that aside and clean my stamps. See, this kind of forces me to clean my stamps before I put them away. I don't know about y'all. I think most of us are in the category of either you clean everything before you put it away, or you're like me and you are really bad about cleaning your stamps before you put them away. And I don't want to get that on my finger. I didn't want to transfer a bunch of dark ink onto my nicely stamped image. Okay, so that is there. I do have one more little bit of stamping to do, and I think I will do that before I go any farther. And that is, I needed a thank you note. So I was looking for a nice, clean, sort of masculine font. And this is what I landed on, just a really simple thanks. So that is where I'm going. And did I put it back? Come on, Candy. Oh, it's right here. I have it on a block already. And what I'm going to do, also, just by way of, I guess I need to not rush through this, but show you. If you're not familiar with Well Said, it's a really, really excellent stamp set because you have so many greetings and you can mix and match them so that, you can do thanks for everything. You can do, where is it? Happy Father's Day. You can do get well wishes. You can do all kinds of mixing and matching here. And then these are actually intended to be the inside greetings that you would use to coordinate. So, like you could do belated birthday and then you would find something in here. I will say, like if you did, we had just done, where was it? Get well wishes. And I saw one. Where'd it go? Sending healing thoughts your way. So there's some really nice inside greeting. And I've actually used this far apart, but close at heart. I've actually used this just on its own during COVID. I think it's a really nice one right now. Hey, Diane, I'm glad you're here. And thank you so much for your congratulations. For those of y'all who are not aware, and I haven't really posted anything here, but Stampin' Up, we just had our big convention at the weekend, and we had our annual celebrations, and I had a really nice ranking and for the world as well as the US. So I'll share those numbers another time, but I want to kind of stick to what I'm doing right now here. I've got, oh, my Big Boss isn't over here. Rats, I always keep Big Boss here. But I had him packed for an event. So I'm going to just use the one that I've already done. Okay, I was going to show you, I was just going to demonstrate Big Boss for you, but I had an event at the weekend and I haven't unpacked my Big Boss yet. And this, yeah. So there is thanks in Night of Navy ink on one of these really small nested labels. Again, I wanted this to be a card that a man could send, in particular my husband. And so I find that these are that they have the strong angles. And although they have stitching, I don't find stitching to be a feminine detail at all. I think this just gives a really nice little bit of detail on here. I did sponge the edges, tone on tone with Misty Moonlight ink on Misty Moonlight cardstock. So there, I will not be showing you how to do that today. So now let's see where we can get on with this. Move this, and you can see how things are beginning to come together. However, before we do that, we're going to give this a little bit of a matte, and I did what I call a micro layer, a 1/8 inch layer. So this is a 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I am putting it on a 2 5/8 by 3 5/8 piece to give it a really it hugs my stamped image. It gives a really tight layer. Like I said, I call it a micro layer, and it kind of hugs your paper and gives a really small frame so that you get that color, but not quite such a big one that we normally use. Okay, let's see. Haven't used this one in a while. Anybody else having a little bit? There we go. Once you get it going, it's good. And this stuff is super strong. But if you are brand new to Stampin' Seal, you just give it a little bit of patience and you will fall in love with it. Okay, let's see. There we go. So that is ready, and this is ready. Now, what's going to really make this sing is we are going to put one of these backgrounds behind it. Now, look what happens. Look at what happens there. Now, this is the snowflake one. And then the other one I thought might be really nice. I actually kind of am partial to this one. And this, to me, reminds me of a snow flurry. These are not exact circles. They're... So this is where I'm thinking of going. And yeah, Kay, I'm glad you like this. I mean, you could easily feminize this, you could pretty it up with a lot of different things. But, my husband likes to send thank you notes. We just had birthdays here. And I could either go portrait or landscape. So let me go ahead and cut this down. And then we will think about what we're going to do on here. I do have a couple of other little bits and pieces that we can add if we decide that that's the direction we want to go. So here is let's see, is there anything on this side that oh yeah, I could use that right there. So I think I will cut like so. And there we go. And then this is going to be at 5 1/4. And I'm not using this side, so I'm not really sure why I'm paying attention to the pattern on it. I guess it's just a habit. So that is going to be my layer, my snowy layer. So there, do we think that we should go with portrait, or do we think we should go landscape? It seems like when you go landscape, you don't have as much of this silver background, which might be a good thing. I'm going to kind of wait and see if anybody has an opinion here. And while you're kind of thinking about that, I'm going to put these stamps away and get ready to, oh, you know what? I should probably put one of these on the inside. Let's do that. We'll put one of those on the inside of the card. And something I thought about that we could do if we had a mind to, I don't want to do very much embellishment on here. So you're liking, okay, landscape. Now this is Night of Navy and definitely kind of bright. It seems like bright. If I were going to add a little bit of ribbon, I think that's probably not a good fit. This is part of the Playing with Patterns combo ribbon, if you're looking for that. The other one I thought about was I could use a little bit, this is tone on tone. But one of the things I oftentimes like to do as well, particularly on a masculine card, is to just do a little ribbon tab where you get a little bit of ribbon, but I'm not even sure I need that. I could do like ribbon tails going this way. So Kathy, you like it both ways. I think we're going to go with, that's kind of nice actually. I mean, we would, you know, get it a little bit nicer than that, but I kind of like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put the designer paper down. And I mean, look how pretty. Does that not make just a gorgeous, simple card? I mean, you don't need much else with that. I mean, look here. I mean, you're just about there. This is that photorealistic paper. I'm telling you, I love, love, love this stuff. But I equally love the silver sides. So yeah, hard decisions when you're designing with this paper, but I do love it. Okay, let's see there. And I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but do I have a bone folder over here? I should, but I don't see one. I'm going to just use my little ruler. Sometimes you see where I ran this through my trimmer, and I ran it through from the other side, and it left like a little bit of like a raised edge where I cut. And so I usually just take a bone folder and just press that down, and then you get a nice smooth edge on there. So even though my trimmer blade is sharp, I think maybe because this is a foil is probably why that did that. I am going to put this on the inside to just give it that nice, that'll be nice and easy to write on. So I think I will go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals, which are, looky here, my newest favorite thing are these black dimensionals, because they just give such a nice shadow when you open your card, instead of having that white. Kind of depends as well on how far out you put your dimensionals. But, you know, when you open a card, sometimes you will see the dimensionals, and I didn't want them to be like bright. So here you can see that you get that nice dark shadow there. So I think I'm just going to pop this like so. I mean, that right there I think is a great guy card. We'll do maybe just one or two more things to it, but for the men in your life, and actually I think, you know, a lot of us feel that guys are hard to buy for at Christmas time. And I would be the first to agree with that. But I do think that a set of handmade cards, sometimes we think about this for our lady friends, but not our guy friends or family members. And I think that it's really a nice thing is to give them a set of handmade cards. I have in the past, when I was doing craft shows, I have done what I used to call a guy's 6-pack. And it would have in there, you know, all the cards a guy needs. It would have a Valentine, and it would have a Happy Mother's Day card, and it would have a birthday card, and it would have an I'm sorry card. And it would have a Christmas card and maybe, you know, a few others. So that's really a nice gift. And many of us are thinking about, you know, what to give this time of year. I think I'm going to bring this all the way down like so. I can't decide where I want to put it. Okay, I think we're just going to go with it there. Well, Nancy, I'm glad that this paper that I've been able to showcase this paper for you. I do absolutely love it. And Jackie, you lost your connection. Well, that's kind of a bummer. We have like I said, it's been raining today, and we've got really a lot of cloud cover. And sometimes when that happens, we will have unstable Wi-Fi as well. I'm going to just clean this so that I can put this little tree on here, and I want to put this on the inside of my card. Now, last time we were here, I was giving away my, what do you call it, my demonstration card. I might do that again today, although I think my husband needs this. So that's going to go on the inside. Again, by stamping it and then stamping it again, it gives the illusion of depth, one tree behind the other. It also carries through my theme of different shades of blue. So I am going to stop for just a moment before I put that Whisper White cardstock on the inside. And you see all of this blue ink on my fingers. I think I need to get rid of that. Whoopsie. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of things you can do with these. You can do baby wipes and stuff. One of the things I do like about these alcohol prep pads, for one thing, they're really small. But they also, because it's alcohol, it dries really fast. And sometimes I find that if you're cleaning your hands with baby wipes, they'll get your hands really wet. And especially if it's a brand new pack of baby wipes. So this kind of does the trick for me, and they're small, so you know you can just tuck those into your little craft bag. So that's my little commercial for alcohol prep pads. So now we are ready to pop this onto the inside. I will tell you that on my Facebook Lives for all of the month of November, I'm going to be giving away something during each Facebook Live. So I say during. When I finish, I will go through the comments and get something ready for the mail. So last Thursday, I gave away my two what do you call them? Display cards. And I think that today I have, where'd it go? I have a stamp set I wanted to give away. Can I lay my hand to it and show it to you really quick? Let me finish my card and I'll show you. We're going to give away a stamp set. Okay. Okay, I'm glad you guys are liking this paper. Now, I did think that if I had a mind to, I could add one little embellishment. We could add, kind of in keeping with this pattern here, these are actually the metallic pearls, and you get silver and you get gold. And what I like about these is this silver is not super bright silver. It's really a brushed silver. And it has a little bit of a bluish tint, so I find it really works well on on your blue project. So this is going to end up looking a little bit like snow if I do it this way, I think. So I don't know. What do we think? I'm waiting for somebody will tell me rip them off or leave them on. So let's see what we're thinking about the snow, our little pearls. And I do think that that's kind of nice. I'm going to go get the paper so that I can show you, because I wanted to show you a couple of other things too. So while I'm getting a little bit of an opinion about that, let me grab this paper really quick to just a little show and tell. Like I said, I've been designing with this, so I'll show you a little sneak peek. Hey, Grace, I'm glad you're with us. I'll show you a sneak peek of one of my fancy fold cards. So, well, let me show you the paper first. So, this is the actual package, so that you get a larger, well, you get a much better feel for the paper instead of just that little tiny square. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. I love, love, love this paper. So you get 4 sheets of each one. These are beautiful. You just put a sentiment on there and you have a gorgeous card. The flip side is this beautiful pattern, which I think is also gorgeous. Now it can be a little bit busy, so I like to either layer something large over it or use this in smaller pieces. This is one of my favorites as well because I love the colors. And just kind of like the sun glistening on, you know, snow-kissed leaves. And then on the other side, you have these lovely silver and whites. And so this is why I call it this is actually a name, photorealistic paper. It's where they take photos, actual photos, and turn it into paper. And then this pattern here, this one with the 4, this has like the bouquet dots that you sometimes get with a photograph, but look at how the icicles are coming off of those bare branches. Flip it on the other side and you have these lovely silvery blooms, just like the stems. Now this is another one of my favorites. These trees, I actually did a Christmas card with this last year with blessed Christmas wishes on it. I mean, is that not just exquisite? Look at the colors in that. And then if you go to the other side, you have these pretty branches with little bits of little snowflakes interspersed. I mean, it's just, I think it's just exquisite paper. It is a specialty paper, so it is $15 for the package, but look how many patterns you get and look at how many, look at how pretty they are. So these, again, you've got ice on the plant, and then you have now a larger pattern with kind of a, you know, a wintry bough. This is, of course, the one I used today with the little flower heads here, and then kind of a snow pattern on the back. This one, this almost reminds me of pussy willows with ice on them. And then the other side has these larger ones here, larger flower heads. This one, I mean, the patterns just keep on going, and the color palette is just beautiful. I mean, this is why I'm doing more than one class of winter cards with this paper, because I think it's just gorgeous. Now there's just your classic, very classic snowflakes. You can also use this for your memory keeping. You know, you can do scrapbooking with 6x6 papers. So there's a number of different things you could do with this. Look at here. Look at that beautiful, beautiful pine cone on that snowy branch. And then on the other side, you have the larger, and this is like a lot of different snowflakes, where this one here is all even snowflakes. So just a great variety. This is another one of my favorites, because look at that wintry scene. Isn't that gorgeous? You can see kind of the sun coming through here a little bit. And then on the other side, you have these branches, which honestly, I mean, silver palm branches is almost what that reminds. I know they're actually probably pine branches, but they kind of remind me a little bit of a palm branch too. And then we are getting close to the end of our patterns. you can see why I love this paper. And see, there's that misty moonlight. Isn't that pretty? Look how it looks with this right here. I think this is beautiful for a sympathy card right here. Especially a sympathy card this time of year. And unfortunately, I've lost a couple of loved ones recently, dear friends. Look at that classy, classy stripe, silver stripe. And then last but not least, another beautiful snow-covered pine branch. And then on the other side, this beautiful guy here. So let me just give you one sneak peek of my Fancy Fold winter card class. So you can see how I've layered a couple of these silver and white patterns. And then I have done this on a, what do you call it? An easel card, so that it will stand up just with these couple of, rhinestones, not diamonds, they're rhinestones. So there's my little easel card. You wouldn't have to put the rhinestones in there because you could just do it as a fold like this. If you put the rhinestones there or something else that will just hold this in place, then when you open the card up, then you have all of that beauty to show. But this kind of is a good example of how you can layer these silver patterns and come out with a really lovely effect. So that is my quick, easy, monochromatic, masculine-ish card for building a wintry scene with a monochromatic, 3 different shades of blue. And I have a card that my husband would be very happy to send. And although I typically would not be putting pearls on a guy card, here they look like snowflakes. So I'll probably leave those. I kind of like them. I think it kind of gives a little bit of variety and keeps it from, gives it that, we're used to adding a lot of embellishment and ribbons and things like that. Oh, you know what? I was going to add that little piece of ribbon. Let's see if we want to do that. Is it right here? Is that little piece of ribbon still hanging around here? Let's see. Should we or shouldn't we? Part of that is going to be determined on whether I can find a glue dot over here. Like I said, I've got so many projects going here at the moment because my retreat's at the weekend. With you guys here now, I've got my team meeting tonight, and retreat weekend, everybody gets, I've got 2 free classes going, and then I've got several paid classes going. So we got a lot of projects going in this studio right now. That is not going to work. So maybe because my glue dots have disappeared, this was my thought. Yep, there we go. What do you think? Do we like those little ribbon tails? Yay or nay on the ribbon tails? And just one more time to show you, it's Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, which is one of the new in colors from this year, and Seaside Spray, which is one of the in colors that was introduced last year. But I can already tell you that when it goes away, I will mourn this blue. Like I said, I'm not a big blues girl, but this blue I really love. So that is the gradation of color. I've got some folks that like the ribbon, some that don't. So I think I'll probably let my husband decide. He always likes it when my studio's upstairs. When I go downstairs and say, honey, I need an opinion. And he has very good design sense. He's a very creative soul and a very natty dresser. He's always the best dressed guy everywhere we go. So he has really good design sense. I kind of like that, but I'm gonna let him decide, and because I haven't stuck it down yet. So I will take a picture and upload this, and I hope you are inspired to, first of all, put this paper on your order. Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. There's the order number right there, 150444. I think it should be in every person's paper collection. Your stash of paper. And then think about, we're in November now. You're thinking about what you're going to get for the guys in your life, and think about doing some masculine cards for them that they can send out through the year. Whether you want to do a guy's 6-pack that would have like maybe the cards to give the woman in his life, his wife, his girlfriend. Then you would have like a birthday card and a Valentine card, a happy anniversary card, happy Mother's Day card if she's a mom, and then an I'm sorry card just to kind of cover the bases, and maybe a just because or something. And or if you wanted to do a set of cards, like I wouldn't probably make a set of cards for my husband to give to me. But my husband oftentimes needs thank you cards. So maybe a set of 6 thank you cards would be a good thing. And I was just looking to see. I thought maybe I had another masculine card sitting on my desk that I could kind of inspire you with. And if you like to get inky, I think that doing a little bit of sponging is definitely very satisfying. One other tip that I didn't really point out, but the reason I added the trees after I sponged is because if I sponge over the trees, it will kind of mute this Night of Navy ink, and I wanted it to be really saturated and really strong. And so I did all of my sponging first and then stamped the images on top of that. Diane, surely he doesn't have a wife and a girlfriend. That's where the I'm sorry card comes in. No, the I'm sorry card is for, when they've just done something really dumb, which, they do sometimes, and we do as well. And I'm sorry, that I forgot whatever it was, or I'm sorry I blew my cool, or whatever. Sometimes writing an I'm sorry is better than saying it, especially guys tend to not be quite as good at communicating verbally as we ladies. And so I think sometimes if they will just sit down and write, I'm sorry I blew it, it just goes a long way to making a difference for us. So be sure to watch here this afternoon. I will upload. I'm going to give away the holiday. I can show you the picture of it. I have them in my cabinet over there. But I have a picture. Here we go. I'm going to give away one of these Host stamp sets from the holiday catalog. Really cute stamp set. I think that you will love it. And so I'm going to draw from the comments. And this is the stamp set. I'm going to be giving away a Merry Hello. Super cute. This is the actual size. I love the fact that it has that 2020 on there, because you can add that, of course, to your cards. You can also add it to any memory keeping that you're doing. This would make really cute scrapbook pages, as well as cards or tags. Really, really great size for making some tags. I will do this in a couple of hours because I know we have quite a few people that watch the replay. They're not able to join us live, and so they need to watch the replay. So I'll give it a couple of hours before I do my drawing, but I will be giving away a Merry Hello stamp set to some lucky winner. And like I said, when I do the drawings, what I do, and I will just come up here because I'm going to have to power off my camera, I have to pull it up here. So when you comment, what I do is I just take the number of comments listed, like say there's 72 comments. I will go into random.org and it allows you to just put a number in there, and I will put in like 72 and it'll say generate, and I just click that and it'll give me a number. It'll just give me a random number like 24, whatever. And then I will just go through in the 24th comment, that's the person who's going to win that free stamp set. So it's just a drawing, and it's just kind of a way of showing my appreciation for you guys, my Facebook Live audience. And so I will be giving away something on every single Facebook Live through November. So thank you so very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I will be here Thursday for Simple and Stepped Up Stamping, so be sure to join me then. And if you have a mind to, I would love for you to share my video as well. It helps me so much. Thank you so much. Take care and God bless.